We have an application for reappointment for George H. Grew for constable. Is that you, sir?
Yep.
I thought so. I met you. That's okay. Come to the mic. You know, I thought it was you. I met you 25 years ago. And,
and he looks the same.
And he looks the same.
I've been at it for 36 years altogether.
Yeah. Would you tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, you want to know, I'm 81 years old. I've been at it since 1969 full time. I was at it 4 years before that. What else you want to know? About the only thing I know right now.
And you are doing this for other cities and towns, Mr. Grew, or?
I'm sorry?
Are you doing this for other cities and towns also?
Yeah.
You're still doing it for the
Yeah.
other cities? Okay. There was a special request for this, Mr. Gagne. Yeah, but do we want to explain why we're doing this? Huh?
Well, what we have here is Mr. Groom has requested that his appointment, he was supposed to be before us in March of 2003 for his reappointment. And there are personal issues that happened, and Mr. Grew, I don't believe he wants to certainly elaborate on them, but the woman that used to do all the paperwork, his wife, passed away in that period. And what we would do is we would vote to approve his constable retroactive to the March 2003, and then we would have the renewal also taken up at this time here, because they're 2-year appointments. So the vote would be for retroactive for March 15th, 2003, and then approval of the current application, which is up for review.
Could I explain a little something on that, why that happened? It was just about the time my wife passed away. I'm not a person who works in an office. I never did, and I think you can tell them about it too. I just don't like office work. So I made an agreement with my wife when we went in business that she would handle the office. I kept my hands out of there, my feet out of there, and my mind out of there. And when she passed away, it was a short while after my license was coming up. And we had another young lady that filled in, and evidently she didn't notice a thing. Well, one thing I'd like to mention. I'd like to ask the committee to think about sending out a notice to all the officers, not just me, because they do it in New Bedford. You can tell them that, Kathy. They do it in Rochester, they do it in Acushnet, they do it in Freetown, they do it in Fall River. But we don't get a thing from anybody here in town, nothing. So it got by me, because I don't, like I said, I don't get into the paperwork. And when it came up, I was surprised, because you probably can see my bond has been in effect ever since I started.
Right. Well, we'll take that under advisement, Mr. Grew, about sending out. I did notice you're still at Hathaway Road, huh?
Hathaway Road, right.
Okay. All right, we're going to have to go with 2 motions. One, to make it retroactive renewal to March of 2003.
So moved.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Any discussion?
I'm just going to, before we start that, I'm going to abstain because I use George Grew as a constable in my law practice, but I want to speak very highly for him, and I did deal with his wife, Edith, and she was the office manager for many years.
Thank you.
So I can substantiate that, and he's provides an excellent service to the community. So.
We have a motion on the floor. Can we have a second, please? Okay, motion made and seconded to go back retroactively to a renewal for Mr. Grew for March of 2003. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's 4 and 1 abstention. And now we will do it for a current application for Mr. Grew. May I hear a motion on that, please?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion made and seconded for the renewal of the current application for George Grew. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and we have 1 abstention.
1 abstention.
So that's 4 and 1 abstention. Kathleen. Thank you, Mr. Grew.
I want to thank all of you very much.
No problem. Have a nice evening.
You too.